So if it doesn't taste too good, we don't have to go too far to complain.
Alright, here we are. Today we're reviewing the Mackinac Pale Ale made by Michigan Brewing Company. The Michigan Brewing Company is based in Belleville, Michigan, and it's only about an hour and 15 minutes away from where we live.
So if it doesn't taste too good, we don't have to go too far to complain.
So let's start off by telling you a little bit about the Michigan Brewing Company. Michigan Brewing Company started in 1996. It was originally a company called Celis, based out of Austin, Texas, and from what I can tell, Miller Company bought Celis and then decided it was horrible, just friggin' abandoned it, and then Michigan Brewing Company bought Celis, turned it into MBC, and based it out of Belleville, Michigan, which, by the way, is roughly 4 hours away from Mackinac Bridge, but we'll get there in just a few minutes. So let's just look at the label here.
As you can see, there is not much to the label because obviously they weren't putting their money into the label. They want to put all their money into how good the beer is.
It's pretty unique in the sense that the cap has nothing on it. I mean, most beers have a reprint of their logo, a date, anything but nothing.
But on the logo, you got that great picture of the bridge, which is nowhere near the brewing company, which just clearly states how great this beer is.
It's like we base a beer out of New York City, but we're made in Pennsylvania. I mean, really, Michigan is a huge state.
Right.
4 hours away is very far to drive from where this beer is made to where this picture is.
Of all the things you could have put, the state itself with the Great Lakes surrounding it. That would have said, hey, we're Michigan, this is us, this is our beer. But they decided to put the bridge, which is really irrelevant to the beer itself. But who cares? Because it's beer.
So as far as the label goes, I'm not too impressed. I'd give it a 2 out of 5.
Yeah, the label, I don't know, it's got to be like a 1, maybe even worse. I mean, it's just a label, but who really cares? I mean, it's all about the beer inside.
We're here to tear it apart. We're here to tear it apart.
Right.
All right, so I'd say it's time to open these babies up.
The cap is definitely a 0, though, for sure.
Okay.
Very unoriginal.
Let's get these babies open. All right. Go.
There are many ways to open a beer, but we prefer the beer key. If you can't find one, get to one. Redo. There are many ways to open a beer, but our preferred method is the beer key. If you don't know where one is, you better find out where one is, because getting one of these will open so many doors to so many beers with great taste and lots to offer. The beer key.
Alright, today I'm going to be opening my beer with none other than a pen. Let's see how we do. First attempt. There we go. Please forgive me. Alright, now that we got these puppies open, let's do the whole rest of the review. I'm just going to split one up. This one I'm going to do a pretty aggressive pour. And this one I'll just do like the normal slow-ish pour. Or whatever. Screw it. Now, first thing I want to talk about is the head. As you can see, the head's pretty thick. People usually rate it by fingers. This is more like a 2-finger head. You can see a lot of carbonation, big bubbles at the top. The head's not very flat either. The head's kind of broken on top, which isn't considered very good. The first thing that I noticed when I poured this beer, though, is the color. I think the color is fantastic.
Very clear, very amber.
Yeah, I love the amber color, the sort of roasted, like thicker color, but it's not too thick. It's, it looks great. It looks great. It looks very drinkable. It looks good to me. I mean.
Oh yeah, it looks great.
Really
great looking beer.
Oh, so since it's so inviting, let's take a sniff.
All right.
Smell test. Interesting. All right, what do you think? What do you notice?
I think it smells very flavorful. It does not smell like a light beer. I mean, it's got a nutty smell to it, kind of what you would expect from a beer of this type, but
yeah,
It smells pretty good.
Yeah, I definitely expected it to be a little bit more, a little bit thicker of a smell. The smell's kind of thin. It doesn't have a deep, like a deep roasted kind of smell to it, but you definitely smell some of the hops in there, and you can smell like the head definitely gives it a little bit better of an aroma. I'd say it's pretty.
Right.
I'd say it's pretty inviting though.
I'd say, for the aroma wise, if you're anywhere from a moderate beer drinker to a person who knows his beers well and has drank many different beers, it smells pretty middle of the line. You could learn to like it.
Definitely, definitely. So we're gonna move on to the probably most important part of this test, taste test. There we go.
All right.
Cheers.
Thanks. Cheers.
All right. Definitely, definitely get that roasted smell. Definitely
yep.
transfers to the taste. This is a great example of an American Pale Ale.
Very clean, very crisp taste. It does not taste skunky.
No.
It is not
No.
thrown over by any bad taste. So if you like this kind of beer, you will probably definitely like
Oh
this.
yeah, I'd say this is pretty. This is a pretty good example of an American Pale Ale. I think Michigan Brewing Company did a pretty good job with this so far.
Yeah.
What I like about it the most is that the aftertaste is something to be desired. It's pretty good. This beer is it's really good.
Yeah, it's definitely
really
a good example of Michigan where it's from, and it sets a good standard
Yeah,
for what
definitely.
what
And it
a
definitely
pale ale
tastes
should
way
be.
better than the stupid cap looks, which
Oh yeah, that doesn't do it justice at all.
The label and the cap do this beer no justice.
Do not look at the cap and then decide not to try this beer because it's worth the try.
All right, so let's just do overall drinkability, everything. Give it a rating. You're up.
I would have to say 3 out of 5. Very honest rating right there. It's not the greatest beer I've ever tasted, but definitely far from the worst.
Yeah. So I'd say, personally, having tried about 30 different kinds of beer, I wouldn't say all over the spectrum, but I've definitely had my share of beers. I'd say this beer is about a 3.5 out of 5. So wrap the review up by saying thanks for watching. Hope you learned something. Keep on drinking.
Keep drinking. Have a good one.
Cheers.